Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Breath of Death. Now, there is an absence of music, and there's a very specific purpose for that. There's a new line of dialogue in chat, and I think it deserves some music of its own.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. It's you and me.
I could not resist. The first time I saw this line of dialogue, I just burst out laughing for like 5 minutes. I could not believe the references they were making was absolutely awesome. And of course, Dim has no reaction to this whatsoever. Anyway, I'll just turn the music on and we'll meet you outside. Okay, there we go. Now, here's the next town. However, I'm going to bypass the town for just a quick second. Just long enough to run into some new enemies and realize how much we actually need the new equipment. These are not like the enemies before that had 75 HP. They're not the strongest in the area. These are probably some of the weaker enemies. So yeah, we're going to have to start using a little more effort to take out some of the enemies around here, and they're going to do a little more damage as well. These ones not particularly difficult, but oh well. Now here we have an interesting option. We have Rally, a skill that we can cast to increase all allies' defense by 25%. Or we can get a passive ability for 10% for everybody at all times, but we don't have to cast it. Personally, I like the buffs because 10% in battle is, in a normal battle, really isn't all that much, and 25 in a boss fight is a pretty big chunk. So I like to stick with the buffs myself. I tend to only use them in boss fights, but you know, your mileage may vary, pick whatever you like. That's what I'm going to go with. Now, there's a bonus dungeon down there, but I don't want to do that yet. I want to run into some new enemies first. Jellyfish! Just use some multi-strike on them and have her attack the other one. Unfortunately, she can't finish him, but oh well. Now, we have that one. We also have another one up there. This is the area we're supposed to go to. Now, I'm sure there's a line of dialogue around here somewhere, or maybe we can just get right up and talk to Lita. No, I'm not here to steal your money. You have fangs talking about stakes to the heart. I'm assuming you're a vampire. No. You never be too careful, and I'll take anyone's opinion at face value because I'm an RPG character. Vampire inventor and scavenger of old technology. Oh boy. Not bodyguard hero. Remember, Sarah is a mind reader. She's the only one who can hear his thoughts. Lita and anyone else in the game can't apparently understand anything he's thinking. Considering he doesn't talk, that kind of leaves that in the dust. Secrets of the past, searching old ruins for ancient artifacts. Count me in! Yay! I work best alone. And of course, yeah, we have great translations from Sarah. And that's the second character to forcefully join our party. However, we learned a new dual tech or unite tech, Bone Storm. We also learned Relic. Now that we have our third character, let's not get stuck on things, let's depart here and head back to town. Don't have any new gear for Miss Lita at this point, and as you can see, her HP and MP are kind of pitiful. She's below our level. After the last episode, I finished the amount of battles that were left in that area. It didn't bring me to a level, so I just finished until I think there's like 9 left or something like that. But Anyway, new enemies, 50 HP, 70, and 85. Let's Bone Storm, if you look at that, versus Fire and Ice. This one is magical based, it doesn't ignore defense, but it does quite a bit more damage. So let's just use this and we can probably take out pretty much everybody. There we go, 120 damage to everybody, not too bad. And here, Sarah levels up and she gets her first option to get the hit up passive ability, which just means she gets a second attack on the same round. I talked about this before when I talked about how I was going to build her up. I am going to build her up as a mage, though I have built her up as a physical attacker before, and she basically becomes as good a physical attacker as you're going to get because of how many hit up passive abilities she gets to learn over her levels. However, in doing so, you sacrifice your healer, and I just don't find that's worthwhile doing. Now, the mana regen passive is critical, and I so wish you could get it for Dem as well, because he needs it as well. But this will allow Sarah to do more magical attacks, and which will do quite a bit of damage, specifically later on, where they become her only real source of damage. And yeah, you really need to be able to regain more MP at the end of battle so you can continue to cast the spells and not run out of MP before you reach the next save point. So I like to go with that. And Lita, of course, levels up as well. Now, I haven't really thought about how I want to build her up too much, but suffice to say, she gets an Earth Elemental attack or a Lightning Elemental attack as a single targeter, these ones, and she also gets one of those elements for a all-attacking spell later in the game. These all upgrade. The Earth ones have a chance at instant death. 25%, or can get one, it's an option when you level it up. 25% for the single attack, 15% for the all targeting attack. And Zap, the electrical, gets a 50% chance of stun on the single targeting attack, and 35% on the all targeting attack. Now, I've tried different combinations. I prefer usually to get, one earth and one electrical. It really doesn't matter too much. There's not a lot of enemies that are, strong or immune to elements. There are a few, but any flying enemies I think are immune to earth. So I personally like to have the higher chance of instant death on Bury Alive, so I'm going to go with that. But you can go either way. It really doesn't matter. Having 50% stun on an attack that does a decent amount of damage throughout the game is quite useful as well, but I'm going to go for the instant death this time. There's no big reason why, it's just a personal preference that I've come to acknowledge. Anyway, we got some more new enemies, same enemies we've seen before. Let's just use Bone Storm on them again, and just end them right there. So one of the advantages to picking up Lita here is we now have a all-targeting attack that can take out pretty much everything we can encounter outside. However, if we start encountering enemies in the bonus dungeons that are available to us, or this spot where we found Lita, which is actually our next dungeon, the enemies won't die quite so easily. Now here we have... I was trying to remember if you could actually talk to some of these things. We have an area, there's nobody here to talk to. Anyway, this guy is a shepherd. Apparently he's looking for Rex. Have you seen my lost mutant sheep Rex? I can't find him anywhere. I'm almost positive I didn't eat him last night. In the mood for a bit of mutton. Burp. Well, okay. You just don't realize it, but you kind of just, ate your sheep. Anyway, this is Janus, or Janus, or whatever. I got a good feeling too. That's probably true. Anyway, there's the weapon shop. We'll go visit there in a moment. Let's go talk to the rest of the townsfolk here. There are some ruins nearby. Just head east across the two rivers and you'll find ruins in a clearing surrounded by swamps. Well, we were already there and we picked up a party member there, so... Anyway, this is Fiora. Exploring the ruins to the east, the crazy techno-freak vampire Lita. She's always there searching for new machines to mess around with. Yeah, here we have the inn, which of course is going to heal us for free. Gotta love that. All of the ones in the game like that. The chest is locked. Now, why don't I have a thief in this game? Then I'd be able to unlock this chest. Again, as far as I know, there's no way of getting into that chest. There is another character that might be able to do it, but I don't think I've come back to try since, you know, after getting him in the past. I don't think you'll be able to open it just because it just seems to be the way this game is. Anyway, divided into 4 regions. There's the area we came from, Lephistopolis to the southeast, and Motherbound to the northeast. Okay, let's go to the northwest. By the end of the game, yeah, I think we're going to head there. Now there's an empty room there, and here we have new gear. Now, we have the shotgun for Lita. Now, Lita is an interesting character because she doesn't just get weapons, she gets weapons that have abilities. In this case, targets all enemies. This is one of my favorite weapons in the game because even though we don't have a all-attacking magical spell for Lita yet, we will eventually get one, but we have a way of hitting all enemies right off the bat for 0 MP cost. We also have a new weapon for Dem called the Katana, and we have some new gear that we can pick up around here for all of our other characters. Now, I don't remember exactly which ones I want to pick up right now, but I do know that I want to purchase the weapons, so let's get some weapons for now. And the shotgun, I want to pick up that. And let's just equip those real quick. Yeah, it's better than what I had before. Even gives me some more defense. Yeah, right now what she had was traditional handgun, which is quite weak, as you see. Shotgun's not much more powerful, but since it hits everyone, it can do a lot more DPS. And her armors are glasses for some reason, and they usually provide defense, magic, and sometimes magic defense. So yeah, I'm going to check my notes real quick and find out if I want to buy, or which pieces of armor I want to buy, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So yeah, basically, let's see here, buy armor. The health ring we're going to find in the one of the upcoming dungeons. The speed ring I think can only be obtained here. It might be available instead of gold, but I always end up buying it here because 50 agility is very useful. I usually remove the strong ring for the speed ring for most boss fights for a large portion of the game actually. It's just so useful. So I'm going to pick up the speed ring, but I won't equip it until we, find a boss to kind of use it on. And I might as well grab the geek glasses since I have enough money for them anyway. Let's just pop those guys on there. I was also looking up one other thing because, Lita, there we go. I never really know how to build up Lita as a character. We've already been down there. Anytime you see random ways where the screen kind of cuts off, it's just, a way out of town. So yeah, it's always kind of a confusion how one should build up Lita, because you can build her as a physical character, and she can be very useful that way. You can also build her as a magical user, and she can be quite useful that way, but more so as a support character than anything else. In this one, she's almost kind of like a hybrid the way I want to build her. For the most part, she's going to be magical, but there are a couple of instances where I'm going to choose strength over magic, mainly because it's paired with something else like HP or agility or something like that, both of which she can use as well. Let's take a look at Hailstorm. Yeah, 88 damage, 3 hits. Her normal attack at this point will hit all enemies to 31, which isn't great. She comes with Sleep, which gives us an 80% chance of putting the enemy to sleep, which is pretty good for only 10 MP. As far as magic spells, she has Drain Life, so she can drain MP out of all or not all, out of one target and recover some HP, so that's nice. And of course the Bury Earth spell that we just got, it's already gotten a little more powerful since we got it, that's pretty cool. And she has the same protect spell as Dem there, so I'm just going to use her normal attack. As you see, Sarah used Hailstorm, 3 hits, 2 of them hit the first one hit the second one, and they died. And then multi-strike, and they're all gone. As you can see, with our, our new party and, new speed, we're pretty well primed for what we need to do. Now, I didn't make a map of this area, but you really don't need to. There's only 10 battles in here. It's very small, and for the most part, it's quite easy to navigate. There's not a lot of really long dead ends. Here we get a sturdy ogre. These guys are pretty powerful, so gonna want to take them out relatively quickly. Let's see here. Let's use the Bury Alive spell there on this one. Not quite. 7 HP left, oh well. And Lita levels up. Now let's see, we got Strength and HP, or MP and Magic. Now, this is one of the times where I actually want to up her Strength, because it's also going to up her HP, and as you can see, her HP is abysmal and she dies far too easily. Later on in the game, it won't be such a big deal, but this specific one I do want to level up. There aren't very many options to choose between Magic and Strength for her. Most of the time it's between stats, all stats, or MP and HP. So we're going to have to try and balance that out a little bit. But in this case, I'm going to go for the Strength. Strength isn't going to hurt her at this point. It can only help her deal more damage. If you decide to build her up strength-wise, she can get hit up, and in combination with her shotgun to hit all enemies, 2 hits, all enemies, high strength can be very, very useful. If you build up her strength, it'll actually do more damage at certain points in the game than her all attacking spells, so that can be very useful. In addition to it being very powerful, it also doesn't cost any MP. Now, I'm just going to hug the left wall here until I get to where I need to go, which should be right up here. And we got some Skeletor, wing skeleton dudes, whatever. So yeah, let's start beating up on them. And that's what I like, because now I can use Dem to attack somebody and have Lita follow up and usually almost kill them. So now I can go like this, and Lita should be able to finish off the rest of them if nobody dies ahead of time. There we go. Now everyone dies, I don't die myself, get MP back, and I didn't have to waste MP to do it. So anyway, here we have a little mini-boss, but that's all the time I have for this episode of Let's Play Breath of Death. Next time, we'll take on this guy in bonus cave number 2, and then move on. I'll also fight some battles off screen if I'm not going to level. If I am going to level, I'll just do it on screen. So anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.